Outcomes and event probability. A coin is tossed 3 times. An outcome is represented by a string of the sort HTT, meaning a head on the first toss, followed by 2 tails. The 8 outcomes are listed in the table below. Note that each outcome has the same probability. For each of the 3 events, in each of the 3 events in the table, check the outcomes that are contained in the event. Then in the last column, enter the probability of the event. Event A tail on the second toss or the third toss. So we're looking for a tail that's on the second or third toss. This has a tail on the second. This has a tail on the second and third. Here it says or both. Okay, this one has a tail on the third toss. This one has one on the second toss. This one has no tails. This one has a tail on the second and third. This one has one on the third. This one does not have a tail on the second or third. Okay, no heads on the last 2 tosses. So on the last 2, it can't be a head there. Okay, this one would not work because there's a head there. No heads, that would work. This one has a head in the second toss, so that would not work. This has a head in the third toss. This has all heads, so that wouldn't work. This one does not have a head in the second or third toss. The last 2 tosses are tails. This has a head in the second, so that will not work. And then this one has a head in the second and third toss. Okay, so event C, a head on each of the last 2 tosses. So that means that there's going to be a head on the last 2 tosses. That's what we're looking for. This one only has a head in the third toss. No heads there. This has a head on the second, but not the third. This one has a head in the third, but not the second. This one has a head in the last 2. This one does not have a head in the second or third. This one has a head in the second, but not the third. This one has a head in the last 2 tosses, so that will work. So now let's add up. Let's see what the probability is at this point. Okay. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would say we got 6 that had a head, either a tail on the second or third or both. So the probability of this, a 2 can go into 6 and a 2 can go into 8. So we'll say 2 go into 6 3 times, 2 go into 8 4 times. So that gives us 3/4. Okay, here we have the event occurred 2 times. So that's 2 over 8. 2 will go into 1 time. 2 will go into 8 4 times. So that gives us 1/4. Okay, here for event C, that occurred 2 times. So once again, it'll be 2 over 8. And that'll give you 1/4 as well. So that's how you work out outcomes and event probability.